kind of a strategic style. So we're really going to get a little bit of everything here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And also tomorrow we will have a little bit of everything. TVZ and PVZ for sure.
Oh, so, yeah, that's true. Yes.
Okay, so
okay, well, I'm ready to go. I just want to have more games, Zero. Obviously, we also want to mention that, because I don't think we've mentioned that people can donate to the prize pool if they have not already done that. That's correct, right?
They can donate not to the prize pool of BSL5, but on BSL6 we will make ladder tournaments. Like it will be, for example, for top 16 players from the ladder, we will have tournaments. In this season we had 3 tournaments with $100 prize pool each, and King of the Hill series. So this is why donations money is now going for.
Okay, 6. So if you want to donate to ladder prize pool for the next BSL, then you can donate. We've already had a ton of support there. So big thanks to everybody for watching too. There's 227 awesome people out there who could go tell 227 of their friends, unless they're friends with each other, and then you know, that's the best thing that you can do is watch Brood War with your friends. So thanks to everybody out there, and of course we are also watching Brood War with our friends together, the 3 of us. So it's been a really great night. I feel like half the time I just watch people fight and I'm just like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen here. Especially that first series was so exciting. I wish I could have been a spectator, but instead I had to say dumb words out of my mouth, so I did that instead.
But I think I'm also doing that too much to my friends. Like they know StarCraft too much, and now I feel like I crossed the line a little bit. Now they hate StarCraft because of me. It's like I don't understand this game. Please, please not show us like the code, because I'm showing them Larva, for example. Look at this APM, guys, and like for the first 1 minute it's interesting, but then they think like this guy is crazy. Like it's impossible to do it that quickly.
Yeah, that's true. The pro gamers are so fast. When I watch Flash's VOD, I'm like, wait a minute. When did he build that? And you have to go back like a minute or 2 minutes. It's like, oh, he built it there, but because he clicked it so fast, like the wireframes don't even appear on the screen. He just put it down. I'm like, okay, I guess. Or then he macros through like 10 factories in half a second. I'm like, where did all these vultures come from? But yeah, Larva also, like he goes through like 10 hatches across the entire map. And then you just see all these units just pour in from a flank. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. I guess I'll never beat this guy because I don't know what's going on or how he did it so fast.
It's crazy. Yeah, the ability, especially when you watch good Zerg players like you were mentioning, is that, you know, there's only so many control groups, right? You cannot hotkey every unit in the Zerg army. But when you watch these late game Zerg players and they can actually just control everything, like hotkey, re-hotkey, you know, macro, control rally points, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. And we actually might see a lot of that in this series too, because it could go into one of those long macro games where the ability to control and just keep building units for 30 minutes is a really useful one to have.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this series. Not going to be as volatile in the beginning. Probably. It can get volatile if players are going to go for, you know, Proxy Zealot or something. But it will still have the same intensity, just not in the early stages of the game. We're not going to have a 10-minute game where there's 3 supply for one of the players and 8 for the other. We're gonna have maxed out armies.
Huge advantage, 3 supplies.
But it's still gonna be intense. You're still gonna have intense fighting. It's gonna be very micro-intensive. Really looking forward to this series.
Yeah, and Mr. Rapid is already in the game, so let's show the maps to the people. It will be Circuit Breaker, Aztec, Heartbeat, Roadkill, and Sylphid as a set 5. So
wow, Heartbeat made it through somehow.
Oh yeah, no Kiseris yet, but still there is a hope for tomorrow. The finals will be best of 7, so yeah, we still should have some hope.
Yeah.
Okay. I think nothing really strikes me as strange here. Aztec, I think it's a little bit weird, but I think to start out on Circuit Breaker is a nice litmus test to really kind of get a feel for how good each player is playing today.
Yeah, so maybe let's go jump to the first game and see who will be the winner of first match. Circuit Breaker, from my perspective, Noob Terran perspective, it's good map for a Terran.
For which map?
Circuit Breaker.
Circuit Breaker. Oh, this is I'm looking at the map pool and I'm just like, this is the ideal map for kogeT. I feel like he's almost has to win here because the other maps are going to be so difficult, especially Aztec and then Heartbeat, which they probably have the least amount of practice on. I feel like if Circuit Breaker is not a victory for kogeT, it's going to be really hard for him to take the last 4.
Yeah. So if you're ready, guys, we can go and jump to the game number 1.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So game number 1 between kogeT and Bony. We are going directly to this game. So spawning on the bottom right position as a purple Terran, we are having kogeT.
And his opponent in the upper right hand corner in the yellow is Bonyth. PVT on Circuit Breaker. And you know, they're not spawning in cross positions, but it's still a pretty long rush distance. And I totally agree with you, Nyokin. I think that this map, out of all of the maps, is that just like that big, bad 4-player, huge macro map. So I would say that kogeT, if he can get set up and doesn't get thrown off early by some aggression, should be in a very strong position.
Yeah, Circuit Breaker, by far the best Terran map in this map pool. You can get 3 bases very easily. You can get 4 bases very easily. You can even get 5 bases very easily. And once Terran gets 3 or 4 base, and if they can also get a 5th base with gas, like, they're just almost unstoppable. So this is going to be a great map for kogeT, but it's still a good map for Protoss. They'll be able to take all of the top side pretty easily if it goes for a macro game. And Protoss always scary on maps where they can get a lot of bases, where they can start pumping 20, 25 gates. So yeah, it's probably going to be a slugfest. We're going to have to see what kogeT's going to open for. Is he going to go for a gasless? Is he going to go for 12 racks or 12 gas? And so far, it's going to be a 12 racks. Or 12 gas. This is basically probably the ideal position to go for 12 gas, because you can set up the barracks where he's putting it and then put a factory on the right side, and you're just zealot tight from the get-go.
Yeah, and Bony is known for not scouting, but starting with the scouting with the first zealot only. So that's a really good position to do it, and that's a really good point, Nayok. And that kogeT, if he will make a factory on time, and I think it should be on time, he will be safe against this first zealot which Bony will make. Probably, of course, not for sure.
Yeah, and because of...
Well, I mean... Oh, go ahead.
And because of this walling position, on other positions he would potentially have to build 2 or 3 Marines. Now, really, all he's going to have to do is build 1. And that's going to make his command center that much faster. It's going to make, maybe if he goes for an all-in build, his second factory that much faster, or store perp much faster. So this is a great position for kogeT.
Yeah, I was actually going to say kind of the same thing about Bonyth too, is if you want to like skip the first zealot, then you can actually get away with that. Because I think realistically, the ability for a Terran player to like pressure you like super early on is kind of limited. I mean, every once in a while you'll see like some crazy Terran cheese, and it's just like, okay, well, you know, congratulations. But usually that's not what we see. The biggest kind of victory here for kogeT is getting in to get it starting and see what comes up after the cyber core, see if it starts spinning. Obviously that information can tell you a lot if your opponent tries to go for something weird early on.
Yeah, and even though we can't see what kogeT's base, I think there were 2 on gas, because he's got quite a bit of gas here.
So maybe he's
just adding his third.
Just 1. Okay, never mind. But yeah, the range, like you said, was a bit late for Bonyth. So if I was kogeT, already alarm bells would be going off in my mind, like, this is most likely a fake. Maybe it's not necessarily a tech build, but maybe he's just faking range to get an even faster Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest victory for Bonyth, even if he did have to take a hit and maybe delay that range to maybe seem a little bit weird, is that he's got the SCV scout out of his base. He can do whatever he wants right now. We can see the Robo coming down here, so we should be looking for some degree of Shuttle Reaver. Surprise! Bonyth's building Shuttle Reaver, big. Never would have expected that, because that's not like how he wins all of his games.
Yeah, but very aggressive approach from Bony in this game. He already added the second gateway and the robo where kogeT is going for the expansion. So if he will defend this base relatively well, it should be a good situation for our Terran player.
Yeah, this is okay for Terran, but at this time I want to point out, built a Vulture. Let me tell you, Vulture versus Reaver, not ideal. So he really needs to get these tanks out because Bonyth is all inning here with 3-gate. It's probably going to be 3-gate with a Zealot Bomb. And I think kogeT's tank count is going to be really low. Oh man, he's even going mines. And these mines are not going to help versus the Dragoons coming in. So I'm really worried for kogeT here. And on top of it, when you get the mine upgrade, that makes me believe he's going to continue to build Vultures as opposed to tanks. And we're seeing a Starport go up. Now this is good for kogeT because he's really got something to shut down the shuttle. Because he doesn't have Goliath, he doesn't have an engineering bay. Marines are not going to kill the shuttle. But really, kogeT
could try.
He needs to get in and scout this non-Nexus.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's probably just going to die because he's going to have mass Vulture versus mass Goon with a Zealot Bomb.
And he still doesn't know. Bonyth was able to pick off the scouting SUV. None of the Vultures have gotten in. Sure, they can lay some mines, which might, slow the push down a little bit, but he's already got an OBS on the way. So this is just going to be a super solid all-in. And I don't think it's all about how quickly kogeT can figure that out and start going into maximum defense mode, because he is going to have to defend incredibly well.
But really, he will have all the tools he will need, because then when he will see the shuttle, he will be able to make a right, even if it will be Weaver in this shuttle. And he's having a bunker, so I feel like it's pretty good situation for kogeT right now. He's already mining from his base. Look at this minimap. He's having scouting everywhere just to see some kind of shuttle, maybe. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, and he actually skipped all the mines on his way across the map, too.
Yeah, but at least the mines had vision, so he saw it coming. And if I was kogeT, I'd be curious, why are we attacking now at 6 minutes? Because I should have ticks by now. So he's got to know something's up. And here comes the bunker repair. The bunker's not going to go down, but Bonyth pushing in, trying to get as much kills as possible. But wow, this attack already stopped by kogeT. I'm really shocked that Bonyth did not come in with a shuttle here.
Oh, he will see the dropship.
I thought that was the point. Yeah, so he sees the dropship come out there, so that should already tell Bonyth, hey, there's, if I don't press in here, there's always the chance that it runs across the map, and there's, okay, there's only going to be like one Dragoon back at home to defend, even though he has continued to produce them. Let's see if he sends the rest of them across the map, and no, he's actually chose to keep them back at home to keep this dropship from delivering its one Vulture payload.
Yes, so despite what we were talking about, Bonyth did not get any damage done, and this is a great spot for kogeT now, because I'm really worried for him that he was going to take crippling damage, but now that he's taking none, he's gotten even a probe kill here for one Vulture. That's not bad. His econ's going to shoot up. There's the shuttle I was talking about, but it's way late now.
Yeah. And I think kogeT will also see that the transfer at the natural was way late too, obviously knowing, hey, this guy's got too much stuff here. Delaying that economy is going to be a big win for kogeT. He's got a natural that's already up and running and pretty impervious to anything that Bonyth wants to do. So I think his best opportunity is maybe just to clear out these mines and maybe take a third.
And kogeT, by having this dropship, he's forcing Bony to stay home, because now he's under a threat that some kind of drop can happen in his main base or natural. So now Bony, he gave up on aggression. Now he's going for defensive mode, and I think he invested so much into this free gateway pressure that I don't know if he did enough damage that he wanted. And
yeah, he definitely didn't do enough damage here. And now kogeT really, if he just takes 3 bases, go for a 2-1, Bonyth really committed a lot to that early pressure. I feel like if he goes for the 2-1 style, which is really meta nowadays, he might just steamroll Bonyth. But we're seeing a bunch of factories coming out, 4 here, potentially maybe 5 and 6. Is that a command center at the bottom? Okay, it is a command center. So he is going into the macro style. He's just building up his factory count a little bit because he knows Bonyth has a lot of units out right now. He doesn't want to take this 3rd base and get busted. So he is just playing a little bit safe here, but yeah, he's in a great position.
It's also actually impossible for me to click on the command center building at the bottom and then show the command center, because I have to click on the the tab that reveals it. I guess I would have to use Alt-U in order to do that. All right, here we go. All right, now I can see it's a command center. Sick. Gotta learn these hotkey commands to be able to observe this game. I gotta say, as hard as of a game as Brood War is, also difficult to command the observer overlay. And I think there are actually some improvements coming to that, so it might get even harder in the future. We'll see. Still no third Nexus from Bonyth, though.
Yeah, he's keeping the Nexus. Bonyth. He decided to add some more gateways instead of Nexus. It's weird for me because look at the supplies. He's even with kogeT, probably mainly because he is not mining enough. So this third base, he badly needs it.
Yeah, I think he's got the same idea as me, is that kogeT's likely going for 2-1. He's likely going to take his third base. And because Bonyth didn't get the damage done, that there is a window of opportunity for him that when the third goes down, if he busts in here with Dragoons, Reaver, Zealot Bomb, he could potentially bust it, and then maybe he takes a Nexus then and catches up that way. But yeah, the supplies, look at the supplies. You never see this. Terran's ahead in supply.
Oh, we are having a drop in the main base. There is a tank and a vulture in the main base. Oh, he can kill so many probes because they are stacked. Oh, only one so far, but really nice drop.
Okay, yeah, a few more getting racked up there. 4 kills, 5 for the siege tank, and more coming in for this vulture. Actually, only 1 there. So it still sucks to lose 6 probes, but actually he's attacking at the third base position at the same time. I think Bonyth's a little bit better defended there, but he's still the ability to penetrate the Protoss base like that, which is usually what we see the Protoss doing with recalls later on. It's really kind of surprising there. kogeT able to sneak all the way in.
And now Bony is pressuring with the Weaver, the third base of kogeT. So also denying some mining time.
Yeah, so he's...
Oh man, he's going to catch the transfer. Oh, that could have been so huge.
Yeah, so he was setting up to do what I was talking about, but that drop pulled all of his units out of position, and now kogeT's got this third set up, and that drop not only forced a full pro pull, but he also saw the Nexus going down. He saw the Arbiter Tribunal, so he knows how committed Bonyth was to this. This is just a dream situation for Terran. Up 30 supply.
Yeah.
He might not even wait for 2-1. He might just go at 170. And it's going to be so difficult for Bonyth to deal with it. His gateway count isn't even there. He's at 6. His Arbiter might be out, but we're not going to have stasis. And meanwhile, kogeT's probably going to take a 4th behind this also. This is just unreal macro from kogeT so far. Oh, and we see Bonyth. I see double Stargate with fleet.
Did we have that? Okay, so he's gonna get yeah, more.
We are having Weaver drop in the natural of the kogeT.
Oh my god, no way. Yeah, some huge hits here. Oh, okay, 1 dud, but the first did quite a bit of damage.
So 2 out of 3 Scarabs was retarded, but still 1 connected, so that's good.
But well, in the end, we're going to see a counter drop on the other side with kogeT heading back in with 4 vultures. He left 1 in the third, and then he's going to send 3 into the main. Oh wow, was that a... did he block with
Yeah,
pylons
I think he blocked
instantly?
it. Oh, sick block by Bonyth.
Yeah,
really nice legend city there. But again, this is another unfortunate timing for Bonyth, because even though he stopped up, now kogeT sees the carriers, and when you see carriers like this, they've got to build up. That means you're giving Terran map control for quite a while. If I'm kogeT, this 4th base will go up easily. He might even think about taking a 5th base on the left side of the map. There's no way Bonyth can attack it, and we see a ton of factories from kogeT now. I think he's got like 8 or 9, so the macro is really kicking in for him.
Yeah, 9 factories, of course, running off of 3, now soon to be 4 bases. You've got more gas than you know what to do with, and you're only going to be like just spamming Goliaths here in the future to deal with a ton of carriers, even like the one scouting Wraith. And Vision is just really what's giving kogeT such a huge advantage here. He's able to scout every single time that he needs to with such successful drop play. So it's impossible for Bonyth to pull any wool over his eyes. Like the Arbiter tech into like carrier tech both get scouted instantly. kogeT just knows everything.
Yes, so kogeT just slowly building up to his 2-1 army. He's got +2 coming in. That means it's going to be go time in probably about 30 seconds. And Bonyth, the supply is closed a little bit, but again, he doesn't have that utility in a lot of arbors. He's got 1 stasis so far, maybe 2 if he banked a bit of energy, but I don't think he does. So Bonyth is going to have trouble dealing with this push, but if he stabilizes, he does have 3 Stargates. The carrier count could start getting out of control. That could be his way back into the game.
Yeah, but there is a chance for I feel like even though that Protoss is going for the carriers, that Terran, who is having 4 running bases, still should have advantage, right? Still should be able to keep up to the carrier production.
Yeah, for sure, Terran's still an advantage, but the thing is with Circuit Breaker, especially with these spawns, is Bonyth, if he just attacks bottom right, he can just sit over the ledge of the natural. The Goliaths are going to bug out because the carriers aren't visible the whole time. You can't just hold position and expect the Goliaths to fire. So once carriers reach critical mass, it's going to be hard to deal with, but it's going to be tough for Bonyth to get there because kogeT is going right now, and his army is very dangerous.
Yeah, they are only 3 carriers.
Yeah, 2-1. The carriers aren't going to hit for a little bit now, and yeah, 3 carriers. Oh man, he's still losing Dragoons. 3 Dragoons just die for free to mines, and I mean, that's obviously not what you want when the push is coming right now, and you're trying to expand behind it. Very rough time for Bonyth.
Yeah, no, he's got to have an amazing engagement here, or he's at least got to push Terran back. He's going in now, but look at the gateway. Oh wow, a big stasis there, but the gateway composition, I think, is just too small from him. Getting on top of the tanks, that's nice, but there, a huge mine drag. Most of the tanks going down, but still, look how much is left over. Supplies have plummeted for Bonyth.
Yeah, now it will take too much time for Bonyth to rebuild all these zealots, and he's having only the goons left, and you don't want to fight with pure goons against siege tanks.
I mean, yeah, wow, that was a really big hit. Obviously, waiting for stasis kind of time out, as well as the Goliath count to build up, because kogeT knows he's going to be eventually have to face off against these carriers. Find where exactly the carriers are. I guess they're just still in the main. 3 out right now, with 3 more about to finish. At least 2 more about to finish. He's going to get the interceptors out and ready to go, because he will have 6 carriers by the time this push hits, and that's going to be a really sick battle to watch, especially if kogeT has just barely enough Goliath.
Yeah, so there is 6 carriers out. That is scary, but kogeT, he's taking that 5th base that I talked about. But the main issue here is, look at the upgrades from kogeT. We're almost at plus, and I haven't seen armor come out for Bonyth at all on the carriers. These interceptors are going to get absolutely shredded here.
And then that's really impressive from kogeT, that he's not engaging, he's not overextending, he's just trying to extend, trying to expand his position, expand his advantage. That's really impressive. He will lose.
Oh my god, is he gonna lose a carrier? Oh my god, it's so low.
Yeah, it's so low, and these Goliaths are so strong. +3, maybe 30 seconds away. Goodbye, carrier. So now we're down to 5, and I think this is going to trigger Bonyth to probably attack, but he can't attack right now.
We've got super D-Matrix Goliath in the front line. That guy's never going to die. And the tanks defending back at the back. We've got kind of like surrogate vultures in the form of these Goliaths kind of defending the tanks from being just run up on by zealots. And this carrier micro, you know, it's pretty good, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough, like you said, Nyoken, with very lightly upgraded carriers and interceptors.
Yeah, the carriers are just not getting the damage. So look at the interceptors. They go in, they kill. They're not even killing Goliaths. Look at that one Goliath hold strong for quite a while. And now the tanks are already at the natural. And yeah, now kogeT is in a phenomenal position. He really just has to just not lose all of his Goliaths to these carriers.
2 more carriers coming out, so we're going to go up to 7. And that's pretty good, but he doesn't have the interceptor count.
Yeah, and he's mining only from this mineral only in 12 o'clock base, where kogeT took his hidden base on 9 o'clock, so that's also very good for him. Look at, he's still having full supply of an army and 4,000 minerals, so that his position is so good. He just need to build the Goliaths and send them to the Bony base.
Yeah, and you know Protoss is in trouble when they're spamming that K button. You see Dark Templars coming out, just running to their death into mines. But I'm shocked at how much damage Bonyth is actually doing here. He's killing so much with these carriers. He's killing all the tanks. The problem is kogeT just has so much.
Yeah, and even the carrier count's starting to kind of, he just lost another carrier there, and I think he's going to keep losing them as these Goliaths just kind of wreck everything.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the Goliath count is pretty low. There's, what, 10 there? There's only like 3 tanks. So Bonyth somehow is holding on. Is this carrier going to go down? Okay, one more carrier going down. The issue is look at kogeT's bank. It's huge. He's taking all of the bottom left side.
Yeah, somehow eventually this will get cleared up. Actually, he's given us another carrier. Oh my god, that was the last hit from this Goliath. That's like 4 or 5 carriers we've lost so far.
Yeah, but still he's holding on, but he's not mining from natural anymore, so that's really bad situation for Bony, but it's impressive how long he can still extend his live over here, his life in this game.
I think it was just too big of a mountain for Bonyth to climb. kogeT now taking the whole map. The amount of damage he's done with these carriers is incredible, because I was actually expecting him to get run over, but now he survived. Thing is carriers alone are not that dangerous. It's once they're combined with a real ground army that they're really dangerous. And now that kogeT has lost his army, he doesn't have many tanks. We're not going to see 9 Goliaths. We're probably going to see like 20, 30 Goliaths this time. And then the carriers are going to have a real issue dealing with that many Goliaths.
kogeT's taking another base.
The problem is that kogeT's army is... Yeah, he's getting another base. kogeT's army is infinite. Like, his supply, he can just keep building forever. Like, his gas is a little bit low, whatever. He's going to be mining off of, like, 25 gas geysers here in a second. So, it's just so hard for Protoss, who's... I feel like Protoss's job is to kind of get into this position that kogeT's in, where he has so much resources, so much production, that he'll be able to, you know, fight heads up. But look at this, the Wraith goes down, but so might these carriers as the Goliaths catch them in a terrible spot.
And they're trapped right now.
Yeah, but this is kind of the best position the carriers could be in, because look, the Goliaths can't really fight him. He's picking off tanks. He could potentially pick off a command center. So for some reason, kogeT's turning around, so he's even delaying the army a little bit. But there is still quite a big army going to top middle. He's going to probably kill the third and the top mid. And once those are gone, that's going to be all of Bonyth's econ.
That's such a smart move from kogeT. He saw that carriers are over there and he moved this army, which is good against ground army of Protoss. And he knew for sure that there will be no army, no units to defend this base. So it was a brilliant move. And now he's killing mineral only.
Lose another carrier. One of them is very low, but still the carrier control by Bonyth has been amazing. I'm glad you shouted that out, Nyokin. He's getting a lot done with just carriers, which is kind of weird because you need those combo units. He's finally gotten a few of those, so let's see how well he's going to be able to hold on here, because obviously losing these bases is so crucial.
The Matrix party.
The defensive matrix on both of the Goliaths, soaking up so many hits, and now both of the Nexuses went down. We have almost no mining from Bonyth. It's got to be the end very soon.
Yeah, you do need a strong economy to support tons of carriers. He's got 7 of them, and rebuilding all these interceptors is going to be pretty difficult. He's got no armor, no shields, just +2 air weapons. So they're going to deal a lot of damage, but they also will die to these very strong Goliaths coming up across the map with 3-3.
Yeah, and there will be no money to rebuild their interceptors, so eventually Bony will die and carriers will be useless if kogeT will decide to snipe the interceptors.
Yeah, kogeT just playing phenomenally this game, shutting down the econ of Bonyth, not really letting him like to his critical mass. He striked at the perfect moment, and it's just. But I'm impressed by Bonyth, because I thought he was so dead, and he's making these carriers work, and even though kogeT won here, I'm kind of worried for him, because Bonyth dealing so much damage with so little, he was so cost effective. That was so amazing.
Yeah. Super well played there. The vision just always coming to kogeT exactly when he needed it. The Arbiters really never stopped his army. They had maybe 1 or 2 good stasises, and then it's like, well, what do you do after that? The carriers didn't kick in quickly enough, and just because Bonyth saw them and he was able to get a Goliath out perfectly in time. Credit to Bonyth, though, he did play that map very well, but you know, it's only game 1 in a long best-of-5, so there's plenty of opportunities to come back.
Yeah, but there are not too many Terran players which can, like, after having advantage against Bony at the beginning to deliver the game, like 20 few minutes of a game against Bonyth, who is having carriers. I saw a lot of games on ladder when Bonyth was like having, like Terran was having that huge advantage and Bonyth was making a difference by the carriers. And now kogeT showed to us how you can deal with this carrier aggression.
Yeah, kogeT played it basically perfectly. He played exactly how you needed to play. He didn't let Bonyth breathe. He took the whole map while doing it. Really impressive play. But kogeT needed that map because the next few maps are nothing like Circuit Breaker.
Oh yeah, this
well,
will
actually,
be
Heartbeat's a little similar to Circuit. No. No, you're right. Especially because there's going to be the 2-player maps in here. I'm just like, oh wow, you know. In general, those are kind of maps that we've seen players kind of shy away from. But coming up next is Aztec, which is kind of a stranger one of our 3-player maps.
Yeah, and it's like I think it will depend on the positions, on the response of the players, the strategy. But overall, I feel like Aztec is even better map for carriers than Circuit Breaker.
Oh yeah, it is a carrier dream. It is a Protoss dream, which is why I veto Aztec. So I'm curious to see what kogeT pulls out here. You know, he's got great micro. We see a lot of interesting builds. The build he pulled out on Circuit Breaker was interesting. Fast drop, you don't see that often on Circuit Breakers because of just how good of a macro map that is. So we might see another similar build on here on Aztec. Aztec does have that little ledge over the natural. So we're going back to the Lost Temple era. We might see a tank drop.
Oh yeah, that's probably why Zerg like switched from making Lurkers and Hydralisks to the Mutalisks, just to prevent from your expansions from dying on Lost Temple. And like I'm sure that it had to be a factor, like why the Muta play became so popular.
Yeah.
Okay, boys.
I'm ready to go for game 2.
Yeah, game 2 on Aztec.
Also.
Yeah, kogeT 1-0 lead, very impressive against Bonyth. So spawning on the 12 o'clock position as a white-ish Terran player, we are having kogeT.
And his opponent in the bottom left spawn is Bonyth. Protoss player, obviously down 1-0. He is one of, if not the best, non-Korean Protoss player out there. Obviously, it's stiff competition, right? We got a bunch of names that could contest him, but he's the only one here in the finals of BSL, or semifinals of BSL. And he absolutely could make it to the finals here. But he's got a little bit of an uphill climb. He's got to even things out against kogeT. And I don't know, kogeT just seems to be playing really well. But how much of that do you think was just him playing to the map in game 1, Nyoken?
I'm not sure, because that build he pulled out, I don't see it very often on Circuit Breaker. If he had pulled it out on here, I think he would definitely be playing to the map. But he might have pulled out that build just to mind game Bonyth because of how uncommon it is, that he's just showing that he's not, you know, just a standard player. He can mix it up, so I liked it from him. I'm curious what he's going to pull out here, because I feel like he's probably not going to do the same build, but the build he did, I think, is more made for maps like Aztec.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, seeing Bonyth, usually it's Bonyth is the player that's dropping his opponent, not, you know, kogeT the other way around. Bonyth is not the guy that gets dropped. He is the dropper, not the droppee. And so in general, I thought, like, I think you mentioned that he might go for an early shuttle to just go for like a 3-gate, you know, bulldog kind of all in, and that's not what he did. It looked a little bit stranger, and once kogeT held on, yeah, that actually looked really good for kogeT. So I'm curious to see if Bonyth is going to go for another one of those like early aggressive plays, or if he's going to choose a more macro-focused play style here in game 2.
Yeah, well, if he does go for a micro play, this is the ideal position for him, because look at Aztec. He's on the left side. kogeT's at top. He's got so much area to defend on the left side. Reavers are going to be a nightmare. You're going to have to build turrets for days to be safe versus them. So we could definitely see some Reaver play from Bonyth here. It would do a lot of damage, I'm sure. But even if it doesn't, if we can get to the late stages like we saw in Circuit Breaker, look at the distance the carriers have to go to get to the main. Not very far, and there's no real good area to fight the carriers once the carriers get into that position. So it's going to be a dangerous spot for kogeT.
But why kogeT made this barracks on the natural and then didn't go for expansion but for the barracks instead of that? Like,
yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah, so this looks like a fake to me. He's faking gasless expand. He's really selling it with this bunker too. And on top of it, there's only one Marine. A lot of players, if they were going to do a build like this with the barracks on the high or building Marines, they wouldn't build 2 with a bunker. They'd probably build 3 and then build the bunker a little later after the goon got there. But this is really a good mind game from kogeT.
And he started with the Vulture again. I honestly don't understand why would you go for this Vulture instead of fast tank if you want to go for the fast expansion. Is this related to some kind of aggression or it's just to prevent this zealot pressure at the beginning?
Well, it's good versus zealot pressure, but at the same time, if the Vulture gets out and Protoss doesn't see it, all of a sudden, if Protoss isn't paying attention, you can get a Vulture into their main when the goons are rallied across the map like we're seeing here. And then the Vulture, you know, kills 5-6 probes for free. But fortunately for Bonyth, he sees the Vulture, and this is going to tip him off that this is not a gasless expand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice try there, kogeT. But you know, he is still going to be you know, not the fastest command center, so he's invested quite a bit ahead of that. And then so the Nexus should be up at a decent time here. Now, the big thing for me is, okay, so let's see if he's gonna. Okay, he does have enough SCVs to defend against the range finishing for these 2 Dragoons, and we don't actually see any more Dragoons rallied across the map from Bonyth, so this isn't something that he's looking to put a ton of pressure on.
Yeah, and this pressure from Bonyth is dealing a lot of damage because we have a starport from kogeT. There's no command center out. Unlike last game, remember it was Circuit Breaker, where he could just wall his ramp and be safe. Now he's got to pull SCVs to just repair this bunker. That's going to delay the command center even longer. He's got a tank out. He's got a starport out. And we see siege mode. We're going Lost Temple style, baby.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. And Bonnie is doing a very nice job by moving back, but he will not have a shuttle.
He's got Stargate. This is like the fastest Stargate. If he builds a scout,
oh my god!
Oh yeah, scout is a
he doesn't have a robotics. He has no robotics. How's he gonna kill these tanks?
Maybe intercept the dropship. Is the only way.
Are you kidding me?
Build a scout, please.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Oh, Corsair!
Oh,
that's not shooting down. Yeah. Maybe disruption weapon, like multiple disruption webs forever. Like it's not long-term option.
It's true. We've seen Shuttle and I think Best have used disruption web on their streams a few times. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, how do you control all this? Because if you think using stasis on 3 or 4 arbiters is hard, imagine having to cast disruption web with, you know, 10, 12 Corsairs. But here comes the tank drop, and guess what? Sayer doesn't hit ground, so this is going to be hard to deal with.
Oh,
and he missed the dropship too, so this is just gonna. Oh my god! Oh, yeah, who built that platform there?
I don't even think you can range the tank from the low ground with the goon if it gets all the way in the back. Yeah, right there.
Oh, he's giving a vision of this Corsair. Is actually having some usage.
Oh, show me more misses. I love these miss chances. Like, why would I want to be able to hit the unit on the high ground? Like. Also, why isn't he sieging it? I feel like if he moved it all the way back, like you said. Yeah, here we go. Oh wow, he actually killed it. That's pretty lucky there for Bonyth.
I'm surprised kogeT didn't send even just one SCV because the tank, I guess it can get ranged. So, but if you repair it nonstop while half the time it's getting missed, that could have been nice. But yeah, Bonyth dealt with that drop quite easily. But if I'm kogeT, I'm seeing this Sayer build. I'm like, the hell's going on here? But at the same time, you know what Bonyth's going to be doing. He's going to be going mass goon, mass disruption web, most likely.
Oh, but he's also having a good scout by this Corsair, so maybe it is a new meta.
Yeah, I think he wants to go goon web, But the Sair, like you said, it's allowing scouting. So if kogeT decided like, oh, I'm going to put down 10 barracks right now because I'm not going to let you build up mass goons and mass D-web, well, Bonyth would see it. And just because you have a Stargate, you're not committed to anything really. He could, you know, go into gateways. It's a minimal commitment, and he's getting full vision off.
Yeah, we saw how important vision was for kogeT to allow him to know exactly where and how to craft his build. And I think, wow, actually,
going for it.
Is just gonna go. Plus the tanks in the natural here. He kills one of them. Can he get the second one? Yes, he does. There's only one tank firing, but I think that's still enough to hold on.
Yeah, that was a nice move from Bonyth. Even though he got 2 tanks, which is a big win. But even though he didn't deal catastrophic damage, this gives him map control. It's not like Terran builds 1 tank and they're like, oh, it's time to go. You got to get that critical mass. And look at the supply advantage for Bonyth now. 72 to 47. This is a huge win for him.
Yeah, fortunately for kogeT, he scouted that the carriers are on the way, but it's only one gateway, one Stargate. There will be like 2 Stargates carriers, so it will be still some time until the carriers will arrive to the game. And there are already 5 factories from kogeT, so maybe he's preparing himself for some kind of aggression from 2 bases.
Yeah, he's going 5 fact. He knows that his drop really didn't do the damage it needs. He solved the Stargate already. He's pretty confident that, I guess, it's going to be carriers this time instead of Goon D-Web. And Bonyth, he's got map control. He's got the econ for it. On top of it, he's been upgrading too. So his upgrades are going to be in line with kogeT. So I feel like if kogeT waits and tries to go split map, that's probably not going to work. So I think that's why we're seeing the 5 or 6 fact coming down from him.
Yeah, let's see. Still on 5 for now. Nothing coming out of the starport, just pumping Goliaths away. And on the other side, you're right. Bonyth is just really powering up for these carriers. They're going to be much slower than they were in the previous game. And yeah, I would have liked to see a D-Web. I don't think we've seen... We had Disruption Web in BSL yet. I don't think
I'm not recalling
so.
that.
At least not in the games. Yeah, at least not in the games that I've cast. I just want to see this game come down to our one friendly little Corsair dude over here, you know, killing a flying building or something. That'd be sick. It's like a base trade, but you've got the one anti-air unit that you never normally build against Terran. I love it, but something tells me it's going to be more about the ability to build up a stick carrier count and keep kogeT from getting that kind of critical Goliath mass that he had in game 1.
And kogeT understands that mineral base would not give him too much against carriers, so he's going for this low ground base with a gas, just to have more gas to pump Goliaths and tanks. So that's a good choice from him.
So he is taking the low ground base, but he's also attacking at the same time. But his army is just puny. Bonyth doesn't have a massive army, but at least he has high ground advantage. He can delay for a long time until carriers come out. So I don't think this kogeT is going to work, but if he can get this 3rd base going, that is a lot of gas for him, but at the same time, it's a very exposed base. If Bonyth ever attacks there, he can just bum rush, and it's going to be really hard for kogeT to reinforce and defend it.
And that's interesting for me, but that Bonyth, by making carriers, forced kogeT to make Goliaths and tanks, and now we are seeing that Bonyth just adding robotics facility because he didn't have Observer until now, but he didn't need it because kogeT was not making any Vultures until this point.
Yeah, exactly. But Bonyth, I thought he was going to take a 3rd base. He is just going pure two base right now. 3rd base finally going down, but his army is so strong right now. I think we have 3 carriers out, but we don't have any more carriers being built. So I guess he was just building a few to force out a lot of Goliaths here. Goliath's not the ideal unit when fighting ground. And if he can make kogeT overbuild Goliath and then just bust in with a lot of Goon Zealot, kogeT's probably going to get run over.
That's actually really sick, that kind of mind game. It's like, how do you know how many to build? Because I'm sure, just by looking at the Goliath count, that kogeT's expecting 5 carriers here, 6 carriers, and he'd be well defended against that. But what we really see underneath these carriers is a huge gateway army that's be really hard to deal with if you're only fighting with Goliath.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter how many carriers he has. If he can wipe the Goliath count, even if he has 1 carrier, the carrier will reign supreme eventually. Yeah. So this is a nice mind game from Bonyth. We do see him building a couple more here, but his gateway count is really strong. I think he has 8 gate. supplies are getting more in his favor. His upgrades are still on point. He's going for that +2 weapon. I'm not sure if kogeT has +1 or +2 yet. But
it
yeah,
looks like he's
having
sitting at
+1, yeah.
+1.
Yes, but it's still, regardless, Bonyth's upgrades this time are much better than last game.
Yeah, and we are seeing that in the fights that this Terran units are somehow dying much quicker than 3-2 Terran army in the previous game. Oh, and Bonyth is taking another base, so that's good for him because kogeT is already mining from the third gas.
Yeah, you never want to be behind bases, PvT obviously, so the fact that he is means that the longer it stays this way, the longer, or the further ahead kogeT is going to get. And obviously, it's not like he's super far ahead at this point. He's still down in army supplies, certainly, but it's the ability to just like sit on 3 bases in macro as a Terran player. Oof. Good defense, though, at the third base for Bonyth. He has a forged pylon wall, able to at least stop the vultures from getting in for now. But that does mean that Bonyth is going to have to go down there and deal with it, and kogeT is going to follow with these Goliaths.
Yeah, this is a nice tweak.
kogeT is moving all of his Goliaths down here.
Oh, wow, he's baiting the carriers out on the high ground.
Oh, this is a nice pickoff, but it is kind of risky because imagine if the gateway units moved down there. Those Goliaths would have all died. So a nice move from kogeT here. And now what does Bonyth do? Because I guess he feels like he can't move his gateway army, but if he doesn't move his gateway army, this third base is going to die.
Oh, and
looks like we already have a little bit of blue too as the tank fire rains down on it. He's trying to move his gateway army. But yeah, you're right. I think he's a little bit too scared to.
Oh no, the Goliaths are getting in here now. There's only 1 cannon. There are 4 carriers, so 4 carriers can deal a lot of damage. There's not that many Goliaths, but there are quite a few.
And they are +2 already. So they are doing so much damage, and there are not too many interceptors from Bonyth, so... Oh, now he's finally moving his ground army, but I think he could do it a little bit earlier.
Okay, so these...
I think he's a little bit late on that.
Yeah, so these Goliaths are going to get cleaned up. They didn't kill that much. They did kill a bunch of interceptors, but as far as probes going down, not really. But kogeT hasn't done like a counterattack right now. His army is still kind of just sitting there. So this was a nice cleanup for Bonyth.
Definitely, and still Bonyth is having 30 supply advantage, but kogeT is also looking strong, because he's like, he lowered the number of the carrier. Now there's like 1 less and 1 is badly hurt, and there are no interceptors to fight. Bonyth needs to keep rebuilding the interceptors.
Yeah, well,
is kogeT gonna lose this whole army?
Yeah,
that would be so bad.
He's got full here because this is a lot of Protoss.
Wow, yeah, he has to run all the way back home. The Goliath count being reset, a little bit slower timing, but the damage was still done. There's just not that many Goliaths here. And with gateway units on the ground really pressuring kogeT's army, I mean, it's all he can do to try to keep the carriers off his back, much less all these zealots killing everything on the ground.
But kogeT, after losing this army, he might lose his third base, which is very important for him, so he needs to be careful.
Yeah, and like I said, this low ground expansion is so exposed. Look at what kogeT has now. He's got 4 Goliaths, 1 tank to defend. It's going to be, you know, he's got to rally down here ASAP because these carriers are still alive. 2 more are about to pop, or they pop out. So we're at 6. Bonyth has a lot of gates, 6 to 8 of them. So his gateway unit production is going to be pretty good. But at the same time, I feel like if Bonyth just sits here, potentially kogeT might get stabilized, and look what he's doing. He's taking his side of the map. 4 or 5 base Terran on here is pretty strong.
So again, he's winning the bases battle, the expansion battle against Protoss. That's really good for him.
Yeah, I think Bonyth's tech is just kind of skyrocketing right now. Whether it's upgrade, he's about to have +3, I think, for air. He's also got High Templar, Dark Templar, Storm is done researching, and that means it's going to make it so easy to bust these huge Goliath balls.
Oh yeah, and this storms might be crucial.
5 big storms.
Yeah, and storms are also helping zoning out Goliaths out of carriers, so yeah, that's really good army composition from Bonyth, but now he lost significant army units, ground army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonyth lost quite a bit of ground army. kogeT does have a strong army, but look at what he's producing from his main. It's 7 Goliaths, 2 tanks. If Bonyth knows that, if he can just keep the gateway production up while maintaining this carrier count. Goliath, their AI has to choose between, do I shoot the interceptors, do I shoot the ground, and they're not the greatest versus the ground. So it's really hard to balance how many Goliaths you have to build to deal with these carriers. And here comes Bonyth again. I think he's going to lose his army here, but I don't know.
He's still killing some SCVs by
130.
Yeah, but he's still killing SCVs by this Dark Templar. He killed 8 SCVs on this 3 o'clock base, and now he's killing them on this low ground base. So that's really impressive. He's found he found a gap in the defense of kogeT.
Really?
Yeah,
that's something you do versus Zerg. Yeah. I don't even know how he got past all the detection. Like there's a turret right out front. Actually, I guess it is a little bit misplaced, but wow, that's a really sick move. Any little tiny kind of jab you can make like that, I mean, it's basically free. And because well, he's able to get the command center at the same time, and I don't know if it's map specific, but this is still a great place for the carriers to be too.
Carrier's great in any position. And now look at the expansion. See, all of his units are coming from the low ground. That means he's coming up the ramp one at a time. Meanwhile, Bonyth has a huge arc. Yeah, GG from kogeT.
And,
wow.
And Bonnie was mined out in the main and natural, so it was definitely one of the all-in attacks from Bonnie, and it was definitely not like 100% his game.
Yeah, for sure. If maybe there had been a better Goliath defense, kind of moving sooner to defend that 3 o'clock base. Yeah, I think honestly the big move was bringing the Gateway army down to kind of kill all the Goliaths that were harassing the attempted 3rd base from Bonyth. As soon as kogeT lost all those Goliaths, you could kind of see that the carrier count was always just a little bit higher than the Goliath count that kogeT needed to like really kind of bully them. So really well played. I love that we get a chance to see these like big macro kind of games between these 2 incredible players, and it's not just Bonyth winning by dropping a Reaver in somebody's mineral lines. We get a chance to see him win other ways too.
Yeah, and I liked kogeT's play on there, like where he had all of his tanks and Goliaths positioned. We were talking about where are carriers dangerous. They were dangerous on that side of the map, so kogeT knew exactly where he needed to have them, and because he was stationed there, you know, Bonyth really couldn't abuse that part of the map. But again, those Goliaths getting caught out of position, and then it kind of just snowballs so hard. Carriers really are hard to deal with once the snowball starts, you know, going downhill.
And let's not forget our hero, my man, the single drop denying Corsair.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that
was really
new
sick.
Meta.
Never seen that before, unless like you said, Nyoken, you're going for some sort of D-web tech. And he was so close, and then he went carriers, which did, you know, prove to be the correct choice in the end. Not the exciting choice, but maybe there's still a chance as we get deeper into the series. And I mean, the next game we're going on to is Heartbeat. So maybe Bonyth evened up the series, but I still don't know what to expect on this map.
But this island bases on this map should like give another it's another point why Bonnie should go for the carriers, right? Because it's easier to defend by the carriers. So it's another carrier map. So it might be the heart at the middle. It might be I love carriers. I don't know, but we might see that. Like.
Maybe. Yeah, lots of great. This map kind of reminds me a little bit of like what Outsider was like to use carriers on. If you did get there, it's like, well, good luck having ground units that can catch those because you're just walled off from the outside of the map. Kind of like what it's like to have all the water around the edges and the high ground from those island bases. Could be a little bit difficult. So maybe we'll see the Valkyries come out. The mask cloaked raids. I don't know, but I think you're gonna need a little bit extra besides just Goliaths to kill Bonyth.
Oh yeah, it looked this way, but on the first game kogeT showed to us that it's possible without raids, but on this map it definitely raids can be more useful because they are much more mobile. Of course you can hit the units, the mineral fields from this island base from the low ground, so you can still deny mining by the tank with the tanks, but Bonnie is pretty good with sniping tanks with the carriers.
Ooh, I just want to see more. Get me into the next game, Zero.
Okay, so another game on the Heartbeat between kogeT and Bonnie. We are going directly to this map. So spawning on the bottom right position as an orange Terran player, we are having Mr. kogeT.
That's right, and his opponent in the bottom left of Heartbeat is our white Protoss player, Bonyth. He's brought it back to 1-1, and I hope we get a chance to see more. This is like the long version of our first series, where the games are still epic, it just takes a little bit longer. We're taking the scenic route to see a ton of cool strategies, things like the Corsair, some great carrier micro, some very decisive drop play out of kogeT in game 1. You can really maybe see it all here. And I want to see, you know, I kind of memed a little bit because Bonyth is so well known for his Reaver play, but we haven't actually seen that at all so far.
Yeah, and I've never played this map, so I don't know what to expect on here. He might pull out Reavers. I am kind of curious what kogeT's gonna pull out, because as a Terran player, I don't really like island maps. And on here we have double island. We have the really close one, and then we have the middle ones. So if kogeT, you know, plays like he's been playing, he's been building a starport every game. If he can get 4 base, that's going to be a lot of gas and a lot of minerals for him. But at the same time, look at the spawns. We're horizontal spawns. Both of the islands are pretty close to Bonyth again. If he gets that carrier count, both of those islands get shut down easily. So it's going to be difficult for kogeT.
And I think it's not possible to make a proper wall-in over here. So kogeT will probably use the supply depot to defend against a Zealot in case of one coming. But he's not starting from gasless expansion again. He's going for barracks and the gas from the main base to have a quicker factory.
At the main of kogeT, where his Rax is, that little cliff, is that a little ramp that allows a tank to go up? Do you see that?
Yeah,
there's no way that's a tiny ramp.
Yeah,
it looks like a ramp.
Oh my gosh.
So
what is this, a ramp for ants? Like, you could fit a ghost up that ramp. I don't know. I guess it is. Is it big enough for tanks? I don't know. I've never played this map.
It looks big enough for tanks. That's a pretty interesting mechanic right there. Even Protoss could position a Dragoon up there.
Yeah, this is like a watchtower.
Yeah. It should defend, for example, in PvP battle, when you will put 2 Dragoons over there and you will have a high ground advantage. And even in this match, 1 tank over here and your expansion is safe-ish. Wow.
Okay, that's really cool. I haven't seen maps that have that design with like a tiny ramp for like a watchtower out front. This reminds me, a lot of times you would build something similar to that in like Age of Empires or something. It's like, okay, well, this is how I defend this like choke point. I'm like, oh, cool, you know, I get it. But in Brood War, like, it also has this secondary effect where you get to see everything coming, and it's like, okay, well, good luck, Zealot. You've got a long way to run, my friend.
Yeah, look at that Zealot. It already almost lost all of its shields before even getting into the base, so that was nice.
Watch it somehow kill both Marines. Oh my god, okay. Alright, they were able to run away, what Marines do best. And so this big scary mean Zealot man is able to, you know, he has to run away. Watch him get
this micro.
Oh,
Flash
wow.
micro.
Yeah, really well controlled there. 2 Marines at like 1 HP.
And if he didn't have a bunker, then these 2 Marines would be for 1 hit of the Dragoon. But thanks to this bunker, now these Marines are saved.
Yeah, and now kogeT, we see no Vulture this game. We are playing pretty standard. I'm trying to check the mini-map. I don't think we have a starport going down anywhere. So this is just going to be a standard game from him. Command Center going down any second now. And meanwhile, Bonyth, he went 2 gate. I didn't see the exact timing of the gateways. Maybe it's a 10-18 or probably not a 10-15. But he was definitely looking to put on some pressure. But this game, he's not going to be able to put any on.
No. Yeah, it's not really going to be effective. He knows there's already a bunker set up there. He's never going to arrive in time. This map is like deceptively large. I'm looking at the distance you have to travel, and it would take quite a while. And when you think about playing aggressively on this map, if you're going to do it by ground, you're going up against this defensive natural construction at the front where you can just put a tank. I don't know, that's really good. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm starting to realize a lot of like the safety options you have for going for things like early expands.
Oh, these goons, they gotta be so careful because there's a double mine right there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and 2 Dragons are
Oh, he might try and pull one of them out, but they're probably both gonna get triggered. Oh, see ya.
Yeah, only one. It was a little bit lucky, but still, good job for kogeT. But he's not having any tank. He's going poor vultures, and he's not even building one. So it will be some pressure by these grooms.
And he's punking him. He's calling the bluff. He's like, "There's nothing in that bunker." He's gonna go take it out. The SCV repair comes in, but there's only 3 with 4 dragoons. He can actually kill this bunker, and it goes down.
Oh yeah, and now we are having one vulture in the main base, but kogeT is not paying attention.
Yeah, and now. Oh my god, how is kogeT gonna deal with this? Vultures versus Dragoons, not ideal. The Dragoons can just sit here, slam the command center. None of the SCVs are even mining now. There's a lot of damage done. Meanwhile, Bonyth just transitioning. He's got his Nexus going down. We see the robotics. Maybe this is the game he goes for the Reaver, now that he's dealt a bit of economic damage here.
It kills off the racks as well, and if he kills this command center, I mean, that's almost just game over. I mean, sure, there's a tank on the high ground, but wait, how can he see up there?
Oh, because the tank was shooting. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it fired a couple of shots. I was like, wait a second. I didn't hear the audio. But yeah, the tank will be able to defend with siege mode on that little crenellation. But I mean, it's still just tons of damage done. Natural coming up here for Bonyth behind all this. He's got like, this is such a good spot to be in.
Yeah, and there's the shuttle from Bonyth, so we're gonna see some Dragoon shuttle play, and there's their support bay. I thought maybe we were gonna see another Zealot bomb, but nope, the Reaver play is coming in here. And yeah, he's already dealt a lot of damage to kogeT here. He's just gonna keep the pressure up, and we'll have to see how his Reaver play is in this game.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, there's a drop coming in, right? So this is kogeT's chance to kind of get one back. But, I mean, look, we've got 2 Dragoons perfectly positioned. He's got a 3rd that he can pull back. And actually, he's going to try to run around sneakily. There's nothing to scout this dropship out, so it is going to be a big surprise. But actually, it's going to run right into the shuttle ferrying a probe over. This is the hard counter to probe expanding on the island.
And look at where Bonyth's units are. They were all the way across the map. There's only a few Dragoons back in the main. Oh, the probe drop on the tank.
Oh, it would
be so... the hero.
Now he
come on.
He badly wanted to snipe this dropship.
Okay, well, he still kills it, but not with the probe. A little bit anticlimactic. And we can have the redrop of the Vulture. I think it's not going to be as effective, obviously, because the units are here to defend, but kogeT's still going to try it. Oh, wow, he's so sneaky. You think you're so sneaky. So I'm going to drop a Vulture in the back of his face. I'm going to kill all of his probes. Like, wow, you're a strategic mastermind kogeT right here. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I did not expect it to do that well.
Yeah, and I thought Bonyth will have such a significant advantage after killing these barracks because it would not allow kogeT to add any factories. But kogeT looks pretty fine in this game. Even looking at the supplies, they are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, and let's see what both players are going to be going for. Obviously, we're going to be seeing +1 air weapons already on the way. That's so the shuttle can deal more damage. But I mean, I guess it's going to be good whenever he does transition into carriers, which I guess I would expect.
Yeah, this is going to be a 2-base carrier Reaver. I think this is a pretty great build to pull out on here. It's not like kogeT's going to be able to shut down this island expansion that easily. Meanwhile, Bonyth put on a lot of pressure early. Now he's going to continue the pressure, keep kogeT on his side of the map. And here comes that Reaver that we've been talking about all series.
Oh, he's even with the speed.
Oh, he's actually going to fly right into the main. Oh my god, there's nothing in the main. Oh, yeah. Well, stop letting Bonyth win games like this. Oh my god, there's still so much potential here. Does get one hit off onto the tanks, mass pull on the SCVs. There's a few left here if he wants to get some bonus kills. Let's see if he can get these shots off. Oh, stupid.
Hitting the
front. It does actually connect.
Oh no, it's not hitting the front.
Ooh, okay.
But he didn't cancel the gateway. Bonyth didn't cancel the gateway, so now he have a full volley into his natural. Terran way of playing.
If he's going to be going for carriers after this, that's not terrible. Obviously, if he wants to take a 3rd, he can actually take the island base instead of having to break through the full wall in. So he's actually super solid defensively against anything like these Vulture run-bys.
Oh!
Oh, the stuns did good.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Oh, there it is!
Oh my god, the ceiling drop! Oh, in this situation, even the probe drop would work.
Yeah. The Zealots did more damage than the Reaver. There's so many SCVs dying. Oh my gosh.
Eventually, there is a raid for kogeT.
I mean, yeah, he does finally build one. He's like, all right, but there's shuttle speeds, so it's not like the shuttle's even gonna die. The raid gets picked off.
No raids anymore.
Yeah, well, Race not very strong, just getting insta picked off by those goons. And kogeT is trying to balance this game out with another drop coming in, but Bonyth is still in the main of kogeT doing harassment with that Reaver.
Yeah, he's got that Dragoon in there. I like that he keeps refilling the shuttle with other units so that he can do things like bomb. Third base is going to get denied by kogeT as he takes out the probe on the island, and he's actually not even going to lose the dropship here. He's going to get out with it again to continue to be annoying and keep that harass going.
Yeah, this is so annoying for Terran to deal with. Like, Bonyth is just, sure, he's not taking bases, but he's slowly building that carrier count up. kogeT's econ has been shot, his factory count's low, he can't take a third base. Like, nothing's going in his favor right now. His drops are getting shut down.
Vulture on Reaver. Oof, yeah, that's not the way you want to play that one. But you know, the drop from kogeT always has the potential to continue to get in and be kind of annoying, but I don't know, man. Taking all those SC losses early on is really going to kind of stifle kogeT's economy.
Yeah, but despite
kogeT's feeling the pressure. He's got cloak building.
But despite losing so many SCVs, kogeT still has having such a good saturation in the main base. I don't know how he's having that number of SCVs, but like, he's still looking strong. It's 95 to 114 supply, so like despite having such a big hits from this Reaver, it still looks pretty fine for kogeT.
And we are starting to have carriers come out. There's 2 down already, and he's getting the interceptor upgrade and preparing for that transition. But we'll see how much damage. Maybe you can just end the game before that, because the Reaver's coming in again. Oh, the mine! Wow, hot pickup.
Ooh. Oh, he's
trying to detonate it and pick up after. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen Bonyth actually do this micro where you explode the mine and pick your unit up before the explosion goes off, but can't do it this time.
Oh, now these 2 carriers will kill the dropship.
Yeah, so finally this dropship play is going to get shut down for kogeT, and Bonyth, he's taking that middle island expansion, probably going to take that other island expansion. If he gets 4 base, what can kogeT really do? We don't see him taking a third base anywhere. I don't really see a lot of factories either. He's really kind of all in with this 2 or 3 port play, but at the same time, how many observers does Bonyth have? I haven't seen a single one. Maybe these raids get kogeT back into the game.
Well, here comes the command center out from kogeT, so he's going to try, and luckily Terran buildings can float. Just want to point that out again. But when you expand to this base, you're also expanding. I guess both players kind of expanding towards each other. So I think kogeT's going to choose to play a little bit more defensively, and then when Bonyth tries to come punish that, he springs the Wraith into action, either kills the Reaver in the shuttle, or can maybe even cloak and take out a few carriers.
Yeah, exactly. But the issue is that Bonyth is probably going to position his carriers at bottom middle. Look how close these bases are. Like, you can probably siege. Well, maybe not siege, that'd be crazy, but almost siege the command center or the nexus from there. And as long as Bonyth has like a cannon for vision for the Wraith, he'll be fine. This command center is not like kogeT can just rally Goliath here. He's got to elevator Goliath here or spam mass turrets just to defend the space.
Merry Christmas, Boots.
Well, tell me more about these mass turrets. Here come the cloaked raids. It's a big moment. There's no observers anywhere. Every carrier is going to die here. Okay, finally an observer comes in, but it's not until almost every carrier is dead. Oh, one more hit. He's
gonna HP left.
He's just barely not going to get it. Wow.
Oh, but now he will kill the Reaver, and in theory this base of kogeT shouldn't survive because the Goliaths wouldn't have a chance to defend against carriers, but by making a raids, I think Rapid was right at the beginning. This is a good map for the raids.
I mean, it certainly seems so, especially when kogeT pulls it out there. Ah, man, heartbreaking to not be able to kill that carrier, but he gets 3 carriers, he gets two or three carriers, he gets a Reaver, and he completely saves his third base, and oh man, that looked like Bonyth. You could see Bonyth like rubbing his hands together. He's like, that guy doesn't have any turrets. I'm gonna like move my carriers and kill his base, haha. And then of course the cloak raids come in really well played by kogeT.
Yeah, and look at the supplies. They're even. And I think kogeT has +3 almost done, or did it just finish? Was it +3 that just finished? It might be that he's on +3 right now. He's definitely +2. Look at how many tanks are. And the push distance is so tiny that we thought Bonyth was dominating this game. That does not seem to be the case. And on top of this bottom middle base, I thought it was an island the whole time. This is actually a ramp base. If kills this and takes this himself, all of a sudden we have 4 base Terran versus 2 base Protoss.
Wow, how the tides of battle have turned, or at least they might. We still don't have any Goliaths coming out here, so this is just going to be all raised all the time. The first few Goliaths should pop out here. I think we've got 1 total, but these raids are really scary to Bonyth. He does not want to have that happen again. He's bringing in 3 observers just to try to keep these carriers alive if the raids want to swoop in.
But overall, there are only 6 raids for kogeT, so that's not the biggest number, and I don't think it's enough to snipe the observers. Or maybe this. Oh, this is a perfect
here
moment.
We go. Oh. Gets in there. He's trying to snipe the observers. He kills every observer, but the cannons are thankfully something that the raids cannot kill.
And this is some kind of
kogeT's approaching this 3rd base. He's spamming turrets, he's spamming tanks, he's got Goliaths coming out, they're highly upgraded. This is going to be so difficult for Bonyth to deal with. Look at even the choke. This is kind of like nostalgia where there's just platforms all over the place kind of choking you up. There's not really a lot of room for Bonyth to engage.
Carriers killing off these raids here, limiting them down to 2, but
do you remember, guys, the old school of pushing Terra? Like, it looked this way: the turrets, mines, and one step forward. And this is the old school way of pushing on this map, and it's working perfectly.
Yeah, a lot of the tanks near the choke in the front get cleaned up, but I mean, still a huge sacrifice as far as zealots are concerned. Bonyth still up just slightly in supply, but I don't know how much longer that's gonna last. This macro really kicking in for kogeT, 3-4 Goliaths out at the time.
Yeah, now kogeT's taking top right or mid right, and now he's still pushing a lot of Goliaths now. There's a lot of anti-air to deal with the carriers, and Bonyth, I think, has given up this bottom base. He's retreating his goons. He might just kind of just micro these carriers to deal with it, but the carrier count, it's only 4.
Yeah, and the interceptors are dying so quickly because these are +2 upgraded, weapon upgraded Goliaths, so it's a rough position.
Honestly, he needs to send a shuttle back. If he sends a shuttle back, saves these probes, and then puts tries to get a 4th base up somewhere else, you know, it's still a tragedy. But if he just takes the L down here at the 6th, ooh, I don't know. I feel like that'd be a big twing because, of course, kogeT, like you said, Nyokin has that 4th base of his own mining behind this.
Yeah, and these carriers are just not working now. There's 6. But there's so many Goliaths here. The tanks are so fortified. I think Bonyth wants to attack here, but the choke is just so crippling for him.
Yeah, he's trying to go from a different choke, but it's hard to move anywhere because then just kogeT just unsiege and goes for his natural, so he can move out from this position anywhere.
Yes, so this base has been broken. We've got 4 base Terran versus 3 base Protoss just now taking mid left. Everything's going in favor of kogeT right now. He's got his upgrades going, but I'm seeing a bunch of Templars coming out for Bonyth. A couple storms could change the tide of this game very easily if he can get them on top of the Goliaths.
Well, we are seeing the carriers still continue to be useful. Somehow he's actually found a good position with the Goliaths not there to defend a few tanks, so he picks off a couple more. And I like how kogeT's kind of playing this hit and run with the carriers, but it feels like more run than hit, and so it's mostly kogeT cleaning things up as he slowly pushes across the map towards the Protoss natural.
Yeah, the carrier count, we're still at 6. It's approaching, I think there's 2 more syncing up, so it's 8, and he's got 2 more building, that's 10. So this is when carriers really start getting scary. It doesn't really matter how many Goliaths you have. This is the
critical mass.
Yeah, and this 3rd base for kogeT is exposed. He's moving his whole army out of position.
And the ground army of Bonyth is so small.
Yeah. Well, all the raids died, so all he's gonna have to rely on is scanning Goliath. But yeah, watch these storms. This actually could decide a whole lot.
Nice storm.
Storms the back on the sieging tanks. Yeah, maybe if you can kill off those storm tanks.
Everything's melting.
Ooh, High Templar Imbo.
Yeah, such good storms there. All the tanks die, which means the gateway units can clean up these Goliaths. They're trying to move forward and snipe a carrier, and they do, but it's such a Pyrrhic victory because everything else is going to die here.
And 7 carriers are left. Only 1 carrier died, and it's still some ground army left for Bonyth. Oh my god, that's so impressive engagement by him.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Bonyth needed, because that big tank turret contain we had a moment ago, now all of a sudden there's only Goliaths here. This island base is probably going to get picked off by Bonyth, and you know, now Bonyth is going to be up in bases. He's already up in supply now. It was even the whole time. Now he's got a 20 or 30 supply lead here, but not going to pick it off just yet.
Ooh, one of his carriers is 10 HP and is just now regaining shield. So, yeah, really got to be careful. But you're right, the critical mass of carriers is coming. We do have those 2 more on the way across the map, building up interceptors. And man, 10 carriers. How do you defend that? You just lost your army.
Yeah, and again, the Goliaths, they can't get on this platform. Look, they're just in the back. Goodbye, command center.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of econ loss for kogeT, and now this feels like the snowball's just the carrier's just snowballing a little too hard.
Yeah. If you had to maybe put a monitor on kogeT to measure his heartbeat, it'd be a little bit more
that's a good statistic to add, yeah. Camera and heartbeat. But about this game, like, Bonyth is almost mined out. Like, he mined out in the main, in the natural, so he's mining on the island and this 9 o'clock base. So his economy is not the best overall. Actually,
so kogeT picked off 2 carriers there, and one of them has like 10 HP. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the ground army now actually might be what wins it.
Yeah, the carrier's just so strong here. Archon's even tanking a lot of hits, and I think Bonyth is gonna bust through here now. Even
so impressive.
The third base exposed again. He can go into the main and start picking off factories. All the turrets going down. kogeT has lost his foothold in this game.
GG.
That's it, GG. Wow. Whoa. kogeT taps out, and Bonyth goes up 2 games to 1 in the BSL semifinals. Damn, this is such an incredible kind of meeting of the minds. PBT, you can see that they both have such incredible ideas about how to approach the matchup, but I mean, Bonyth is just barely able to edge out a win in Game 3.
Yeah, these games have been so close. I thought for sure Bonyth was going to win with those Zealot bombs, wiping out, we don't know how many SCVs, but a lot. They did more damage than the Reaver. But then kogeT, his macro's incredible, somehow got the even supply, had a huge push denying bottom middle, but then those storms, kogeT, I guess, just a little too impatient pushing out there, and then that completely turned the tides for Protoss there. But yeah, really close game. It could have gone either way for sure.
Yeah, kogeT positioned himself so well in this game, but again, Bonyth showing so his superior carrier control. It's like incredible that he can like play on even bases against Terra, or even he can be down 1 base and still play like it's an even game. Like, I thought that this engagement at the end that kogeT will get it for sure, and this storms was so magnificent and incredible from Bonyth.
Man, I wanna like, I can imagine if instead of kogeT, imagine for a moment it's Artosis, and he's pushing across the map with a huge army, and then he loses everything to 4 storms. Oh, heartbreaker right there. And I'm sure kogeT was kind of feeling the same way. He's like, well, I have this incredible macro that gets me back in the game, but because, like you said, Nyoken, he's a little bit impatient, his army clumps up as it comes around the I don't know, natural formation, and it's just like 4 storms, and it's like, well, nothing's there anymore. He's like, huh, well, I guess I don't have an army anymore, and my opponent's got 6 carriers, so it's like, man, rough.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But, so it's hard to look for Terrans, but I think even every Terran, Mr. Nyoken can confirm it, I guess. Even every Terran lacks good storm, right? Even on Terran.
No.
I don't know about that, man. No. There's no sense of respect, you know. If you lose like a 40-minute macro game, you're like, okay, well, you know, even though I lost, like, it was a good game, right? But if that's how you lose, and it's like your opponent's really good at pushing one button 4 times, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hate losing to Storm, but to be fair, like if he had done shuttles with Storm, it's not easy to pick out the Templars and Storm stuff. Now, that fight was not that, but yeah, I hate losing to Storm. It's so heartbreaking, especially when the other player has carriers, because you know it's like, oh my god, now I'm so dead, because it's so hard to deal carriers when it's even. Now you got to come back. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Oof. Well, we'll see if kogeT can come back here in game number 4, or if this is the final game of the BSL Season 5 semifinals. I mean, we already got a chance to see one awesome semifinal between True Touch and Eon Zerg, so if you missed that, definitely go back and watch it. But if you're just tuning in, it's going to be a good time to watch and see if Bonyth can close things out 3-1 here on Roadkill in Set 4.
Yeah, definitely. This is a roadkill, and I think Nyoken told me when we was casting before that this is a good map for arbiter play, for recalls. So.
Oh yeah, it's good map for arbiters, good map for carriers. It's like Aztec.
So
again,
which map is bad for carriers?
For
which map is bad for carriers?
Is there
okay?
A bad map for carriers?
So
no, Holy World. There you go.
So StarCraft is that easy. You should just go carriers, and every map is good for you.
Wow, we're learning a lot about Protoss strategy from Nyoken.
I mean, that's what I do when I play Protoss. I build Dark Templars and go carriers. All the high damage units.
You'll never be a gateway man if you keep that up.
No, I don't play gateway man. I play carrier man. That's even more dangerous.
Big brain strats. All right, well, our fourth map is Roadkill. I am ready. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I can't wait. So let's go. Game number 4 on Roadkill. It might be the match point.
Yeah, Bonyth looking to take this map, to take it all the way, and kogeT, he's got to win here, otherwise he's out. And remember, kogeT got second last season, so he does not want to go out here. He really wants to get first. He wants to redeem himself.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into game number 1. O-N-E-O, there we go. All right, game number 4. I think I said 1 there. 1 looks like a 4 if you just keep drawing a little bit more. But in the left-hand corner of your screen, in the orange, this is your Polish Terran kogeT.
Yeah, and on the 12 o'clock position as a white or as a yellow Protoss player, leading 2-1 with a match point match, we are having Bonyth.
Yeah, and
wow.
I hate to say it again, but these spawns are good for Bonyth. If we can get to that carrier point again, look how close the distances are. He can fly in, snipe depots, snipe factories. It's going to be rough, but at the same time, the positions are close for kogeT. If he's going to pull out a pressure build, this is about as good of a spawn and map as you can get.
But now, can you please explain me what kind of rush is it from kogeT? It's 1 Rax in the middle?
Oh my gosh, we have BBS probably coming down for kogeT here, a 9 Rax, probably with a 10 Rax follow-up. I guess kogeT really does not want to go macro on here. I don't blame him. It's a tough Whoa, what is this?
It's only 1 Rax, right?
Yeah, 9 Rax deep.
I don't know if that's how you do it.
My mind is blown here because maybe he's... Okay, so I was experimenting with something like this where you, on maps with an inverted ramp, if you bunker rush the Protoss, they're kind of contained because they can't run by the bunker if you get a bunker in a depot. So maybe that's what kogeT's going for?
I mean, this is one of those low ground mains, right? So any control early on of the high ground can be difficult, like you said. I don't know, like I've just never seen this particular one. He's gonna have to double SCV scout. Obviously, he sacked a little bit of the economy here. And usually you see the committal. Now, I don't know, this reminds me a lot of like meching Terran in StarCraft 2, where you build the barracks earlier, and you're gonna, it doesn't matter. But that's just like, it's so not the case here. He finds his opponent, he's gonna start rallying Marines across the map here, and I mean, we'll see if he can get that contained on the high ground.
Yeah, and on top of it, every game Bonyth has rallied a zealot.
Yeah, that's good for him.
This doesn't make much sense to me because you can probably bet there's a Zealot coming out. There it is, and now we've got Marines with no Depot SimCity. Yeah, look at kogeT instantly moves the Marines back because he knows he can't fight the Zealot on the open ground.
Okay, here comes the 3 Marine versus Zealot Boxer Micro.
Gosh. Like the Zealot is gonna even see it. Maybe. Did he see it?
Yeah, he saw it, but he didn't realize that they are there. And the bunker he's producing bunker, so it should be on time, I think. Outmaneuvering.
Oh my God, Bonyth. Yeah, Bonyth is kind of throwing this here. All he had to do is keep the Zealot by his ramp, and he's good to go.
Wow.
But now he's way out of position. What are you finding over here, my guy? A whole lot of nothing. And now the bunker is going to get up if he wants the supply depot here too. He can do that as well. He's got the SCV to block the ramp, so good luck getting up there, Dragoon. This is a sick play from kogeT.
Yeah, so kogeT's got the bunker up. Protoss is contained, but kogeT's tech is way behind. Look at the factory, it's just started. And look at Bonyth's follow-up. A Citadel. Now, you would think that this is probably going to be for DTs, which it most likely is. But because he's contained, we might see an explosion of gateways with speed, possibly. We'll have to see, but yeah, he's trying to bust out here, and this might catch kogeT off guard.
Yeah, but I like that the kogeT didn't too all in with this barrack place. Like he still is stacking up behind it. His SCV count is maybe not too high, but it's relatively healthy. So we might he's still pretty fine on this game, and this bunker position is still giving him such a big control of this game so far.
Yeah, now I'm curious. Yeah. The follow-up from kogeT is pretty interesting to me because I feel like if I was doing this, I probably would have gasless expanded. I don't know, but regardless, we do have a factory down for kogeT. He's got a lot of gas, so this seems like a big commitment from him. Probably a second factory coming down pretty soon. Or not. There's the command center.
Okay, I was going to say he's banking a little bit, and he's going to go into an expo. So he's saying, well, look, I'm going to contain you, and maybe you break out. I wonder, do this math for me, Nyoken. How many SCVs do you need to repair against Dragoons if you have high ground advantage against them?
Oh, I have no idea, but it seems like one is perfect, but now it's going to get shot down, so...
pop out a Marine, save the SCV. This is so weird. 3 Dragoons firing at a bunker. One of them's low ground. Dude, if my teacher gave me this word problem in school, I was just like, no, I'm not calculating with the missed chances. Like, it's not going to happen. But it's just still a weird way to break out of your base.
Yeah, now kogeT's got to be worried because DTs are out. We have siege mode. I don't see an eBay. At the same time, oh man, the DT just ran by the bunker. If he was looking at it, he might have noticed there's the eBay instantly, but there's no wall here. So these DTs are just going to run in, and this could be the elimination of Oh, wow, he saw it, so he's spamming a wall. But there are holes.
It's not tight, right? It's not tight against that Templar.
Yeah.
No, it's not tight.
No,
so
no.
It's going to be DTs walking into your base.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's see.
Goodbye.
I don't know, Scoop. This is a rough one. Oh my God. K-Boys back at it again.
The tank is getting hit.
I think the DT glitched out a little bit there, but still it's going to be way too much damage. He can actually target fire his own Marines to try to like splash the DTs.
Oh, that's
He's
right,
got nothing else.
Yeah, and I think this is...
You got to figure something else.
This is going to be the end. The turret's just going to get sniped by these K-Boys. Even the tanks are just going to die. He doesn't even care about the turret, and there's the GG.
Damn,
Well
Bonyth.
Good luck in the final. So, Bonyth versus Eronzerg, the grand finals.
Whoa. Wow. I feel like that last game is sort of like the icing on top, where we're talking about how awesome and how epic all 4 of these final players are. And then you get a chance to see them just slug it out here in this long macro games. And then to answer the question kind of once and for all, you know, who does truly go on to or deserve to advance? I think Bonyth really showed that he has like the tenacity to kind of hold out in a rough spot where he's getting contained on the high ground, bust out, go across the map and win the game. Really, really well played. Totally deserving to advance on to the grand finals to face off against EonZerg.
Yeah, I agree. Totally deserving to bust out that DT rush and take that victory from Terran. What a move. But that play from kogeT, that was an interesting play. I've thought about that on Jade, but I never really had great success for it. But I did like the idea. But the eBay just a little late. Imagine if he gets the turret up in time. Imagine he gets the wall up in time. You know, kogeT spent a lot of resources teching to do nothing. kogeT would have been in quite an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And he had expansion running. So he would be in perfect position if he would only have one turret or a scan or something like that.
Yeah. I would have liked to see like the desperation friendly fire from the siege tanks to try to splash the DTs down.
Idea too.
But I mean that's when that's how you hold on. It's like either you're a sick Gosu and you knew you could do that, or it's totally desperate. And obviously the detection is a little bit slow there. So wow, what a way to do it. That means that Eon Zerg and Bonyth advance on to the BSL5 Grand Finals.